Good evening and welcome to Just the News. I'm Faye D'Souza. We have a lot of stories to work through today, so we're going to get straight to it. Our first story comes with a trigger warning. Many of our viewers will find the details of this story upsetting. So if you are experiencing anxiety, it may make sense not to watch the video. A 6-year-old Dalit girl was allegedly raped by a 34-year-old neighbor in East Delhi's Tirlokpuri on Wednesday. She's currently undergoing treatment at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. The victim's family said the girl turned 6 on Tuesday this week. She couldn't celebrate her birthday with her friends because her grandmother was unwell, but she was excited to show off her gifts to her friends and stepped out of her home after lunch. When she went out of her house, a cable operator in the neighborhood, whom the police have now identified as Shamugan, offered to buy her chocolates and asked her to accompany him into an empty room nearby, where allegedly he raped her. A case of rape under the IPC section 376AB, POCSO and the SC/ST Act have been registered by the Mayur Vihar police station. Delhi police spokesperson Chinmoy Biswal told Hindustan Times that the suspect was arrested the same day. The victim's family also protested outside the police station, alleging another man was involved in the crime, but the police have ruled out the possibility of a second perpetrator. This is the second case of sexual assault against a Dalit minor in our nation's capital in a span of 11 days. On the 1st of August, a 9-year-old girl was allegedly raped and killed by 4 men, including a 55-year-old priest at a crematorium near close to Delhi's cantonment in southwest Delhi. An update on that case of the 9-year-old. The police has now submitted before court in that case that the disclosure statements of the 4 accused arrested people reveal that the accused Radhe Shyam and Kuldeep Singh had in fact raped and killed the minor child, and that the 2 remaining accused people, Salim Ahmed and Lakshmi Narayan, helped them in trying to cremate and dispose of the body of the deceased minor child. However, the investigative officer has added to the court that, and I quote, neither any statement of an eyewitness nor any other evidence, including medical or scientific, could be collected to confirm whether the victim child was in fact raped or not. He further submitted, and this is the policeman, further submitted at this stage that he cannot conclusively say as to whether the victim child was raped or not, end quote. On the 2nd of August, the girl, remember, had gone to collect cold water from the crematorium's water cooler. Her family was later informed that she had been electrocuted. The family alleged that she was raped and forcibly cremated when the accused, apparently, according to eyewitness reports, have told media people that the accused confessed to raping and murdering her when the crowd beat them up. Her charred remains were taken off the pyre as the locals gathered. In other news, Bhima Koregaon accused advocate Surendra Gadling has been granted temporary bail by the Bombay High Court to attend the rituals on the funeral of his mother's first death anniversary. When his mother passed away on the 15th of August last year, he had asked for temporary bail to attend the funeral, but the court had denied him that bail. Gadling was arrested on the 6th of June 2018 by the Pune police in the Elgar Parishad case and booked under the IPC UAPA for terrorism. The High Court said that Gadling can be released on temporary bail with effect of the 13th of August until the 21st of August, purely on humanitarian grounds. If you take a look at our YouTube page, we have put out an entire explainer of the Elgar Parishad case if you want more details about it. A Delhi court rejected the bail of the 3 men arrested in connection with the inflammatory and anti-Muslim slogans raised at a Jantar Mantar event on Sunday. The court observed that scathing remarks were made by these 3 individuals that were undemocratic and uncalled for from any citizen of this country. The court 2 days ago, though, granted bail to Supreme Court lawyer and BJP member Ashwini Upadhyay, the organizer of the event, which had apparently been called to protest against colonial-era laws. 6 people, including Upadhyay, were arrested in this case earlier after videos of people shouting slogans calling for genocide of the Muslim population in India went viral on social media. According to several media reports, a landslide blocked the flow of the Chandrabhaga River in Himachal Pradesh today and led to the formation of a lake. This, in turn, is posing a threat to human habitations and agricultural fields in the area. The Lahaul-Spiti Deputy Commissioner Neeraj Kumar told Hindustan Times that a portion of the hill caved in around 9:30 in the morning, completely blocked the river flow in the area of the population of around 2,000. He added that a team of experts will take stock of the situation and suggest a strategy to deal with it. Landslides and cloudbursts triggered flooding in the region and left 7 people dead and 3 people missing on the 27th of July. The Bombay High Court, expressing anguish over the lack of parking spaces designated for people in the city of Mumbai, has said authorities must not allow citizens to own multiple personal vehicles if they don't have adequate parking space. The bench of Chief Justice Dinakar Datta and Justice G.S. Kulkarni yesterday said that authorities, and I quote, should not allow families owning only one flat to have 4 or 5 cars if they do not have sufficient parking space for those cars available in their respective housing societies. The bench was hearing a PIL filed by Navi Mumbai resident and activist Sandeep Thakur challenging a government notification on the amended Unified Development Control Code for parking spaces. According to ANI, the Mumbai police has put out a lookout notice that has been issued on its own former police commissioner Param Singh in the alleged extortion case. The lookout notice is issued to prevent a person from leaving the country. This is the second case of extortion in which Param Singh has been named. The notice was issued on the 30th of July on complaint of a businessman who filed a complaint against him. In his complaint, Ketan Thanna alleged that Param Singh was the Thane police commissioner between January 2018 and February 2019. He extorted 1.25 crore rupees from the businessman, threatening to frame him in serious criminal charges if that money had not been paid. In Tamil Nadu, the finance minister has presented the first budget of the MK Stalin government. The government of Tamil Nadu has decided to cut the price of petrol by 3 rupees per litre in the state of Tamil Nadu. The finance minister has said this comes on directions of the chief minister MK Stalin. Now, this is the DMK government's maiden budget, or first budget after it came into power on the 6th of assembly elections. The opposition, the AIDMK, apparently boycotted this exercise. Now, basically, as you know, the price of fuel right now across the country is extremely high. It's a combination of very high taxes, both from the state and the centre. The state of Tamil Nadu has decided to cut its taxes by 3 rupees, which means that it will suffer some income loss to its exchequer. But in the meantime, it's also announced a couple of other interesting announcements. A 703 crore rupee grant for subsidy for free bus travel for all women. Maternity leave period extended to 12 months from 9 months, and 3,800 crore rupees allotted to rural housing. Taking right now a look at India's COVID reports, India reported 40,120 new COVID cases and 585 deaths in the last 24 hours. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has said India has achieved the highest ever COVID recovery rate of 97.46%. Kerala still reporting more than 20,000 cases every day. According to the Economic Times, Serum Institute of India chairperson Cyrus Poonawalla has said that mixing of vaccines is very wrong, and it may start a blame game among vaccine manufacturers. This comes after the DGCI, or the Drugs Controller General of India, approved a proposal to conduct a study on mixing Covaxin and Covishield in India. The study involves 300 healthy individuals and will be conducted at CMC Vellore. Mr. Cyrus Poonawalla, who is the chairperson of the company that manufactures Covishield, has said, and I quote, "There is no need to mix doses. If anything misfires, Serum will say the other vaccine is no good. The other vaccine will blame us, claiming that it's an issue with our vaccine. I think it's very wrong to mix vaccines. You can quote me on this." He added that mixing doses is not all proven in field trials. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has now said that airlines can now operate a maximum of 72.5% of their pre-COVID domestic flights until further orders. Earlier, the airlines were allowed to operate 65% of their flights. The government had kept the limit to 50% in June because of the second wave. West Bengal on Thursday extended its COVID restrictions until the 30th of August. However, the night curfew time has been relaxed now to 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Only emergency services will be allowed to function during the night curfew. Taking a look now at news coming in from the world of business. While speaking at the CII annual session, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the government is doing everything required to support the economy and urged industry leaders to step up investments and build capacity in domestic chip manufacturing and renewable energy. She went on to say that the government is pursuing key economic reforms and doing rigorous work to achieve privatization plans outlined in the budget, and hope to complete the strategic sale of Air India, BPCL, and others within this fiscal year. News coming in right now from across the world. Of course, very grim, very worrying news coming in from Afghanistan. The situation is really grim. The Taliban has tightened their grip on Afghanistan as they have now captured the second and the third biggest cities, Kandahar and Herat. Reuters has reported that according to US intelligence experts, the Taliban could possibly capture the capital city of Kabul in the next 90 days. Taliban insurgents have now captured 2/3 of the country. According to a spokesperson of the UN World Food Programme, food shortages in Afghanistan are quite dire and they're worsening. The biggest challenge is faced by children and women of Afghanistan as the world continues to watch. Hundreds of residents of Japan's Nagasaki and Kyushu Island have been asked to evacuate to avoid floods and landslide risk caused by torrential rain. There are several videos circulating that show the streets completely flooded with water and rivers overflowing. According to Reuters, 17 people were killed in flash floods in northern Turkey that sent water and debris gushing through the streets there as well. More than 1,300 people were evacuated from areas affected in 3 provinces. The floods have damaged power infrastructure, leaving over 320 villages without electricity. And remember, this is all linked now to climate change. There was a massive report that came out by the UN on climate change. We're going to put out very soon an entire explainer of what that report says and what we need to do now. In the meantime, Britney Spears' father, James Spears, has agreed to step down as her conservator. The singer's lawyer said in a statement that we're pleased that Mr. Spears and his lawyer today have conceded that in a filing that he must be removed. Mr. Spears, who has controlled much of his daughter's affairs since she suffered a mental health breakdown back in 2008, agreed to step down in court documents filed yesterday. And now on to sports right now. KL Rahul has become the first Indian opener to smash a Test 100 at Lord's Cricket Ground in 31 years. The previous Test 100 by an Indian opener at Lord's was hit by Ravi Shastri back in 1990. In the meantime, India ended the first day of the Lord's Test against England at 276 for 3. India also recorded its highest opening partnership at Lord's in 47 years. Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul shared a 126-run opening stand for the first day of the second Test in England. India's 23-year-old javelin thrower hero Neeraj Chopra has jumped 14 places to occupy the second spot in the world rankings. This comes after he bagged the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics. He was ranked 16 before the Olympics. He is now at the number 2 spot and he is second right now to Germany's Johann Vetter. A piece of positive news before we leave you for today. Kochi's Aisha Nazia has become the only Indian among 32 candidates to be selected across the world for a FIFA-endorsed postgraduate sports executive program called FIFA Master. The 26-year-old has been selected for the course International Master in Sports Humanities, History, Management and Law. She's also working as a mechanical engineer and has always been passionate about football. She's also got a 50% scholarship and has now started a fundraiser for the remaining 28 lakh rupees to be able to take the course. Well, that brings me to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching and thank you always for giving us your feedback. It's nice to hear from you. Let me give you your quick question for today. The Civil Aviation Ministry has allowed airlines in India, domestic airlines, to function at what capacity? You can leave your answers in the comment section. And like someone suggested on Instagram that we should pick one random winner every week and send them something special. We're going to work on that and see if we can pick a random winner who answers our quiz question and send them a special gift. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay home. Good night.